to ambulance workers from Kansas City, the animals are still in a state of emergency.
Paramedics 911.
Saving lives is what massed ambulance is all about. And when John Chipchase and Andy Zimmerly aren't helping the people of New Orleans,
this was called in by a family member that hadn't heard from the patient.
They're saving someone else. In an abandoned grocery store parking lot, Mass discovered volunteers from Minnesota to California converged, trying desperately to save the displaced dogs.
And the dogs are literally dying over here.
The neighborhood is so rough, New Orleans EMS doesn't want us to show where it is for everyone's sense of security.
We want to do close-ups, nothing showing landmarks or anything.
But for the dogs devastated by Katrina, it's hard to believe things could get much worse. Some that have been found on rooftops, their paws are split because they've been on some, hot metal. Dogs are coming into this makeshift shelter at a rate of 20 a day. The whole place is staffed by volunteers, and they say they have desperate needs. That's where Kansas City Massed comes through.
I'm more of an animal person than I am a people person.
They delivered food and water to volunteers who are clearly wearing out. It's hard. It's very hard.
It's going to be a run, or are you going to just put them all, a whole bunch in here?
John and Andy put down their stethoscopes and put up a fence.
They don't mean anybody any harm. They're out here starving to death in the streets. So we've got to do something.
You can see fear in the eyes of animals that don't know what hit them and sense gratitude for a friendly pat on the head. Not what massed workers would be doing back home, but here, it's all in a day's work.
We're just glad to be here.
I know you've seen the video before, but photographer Ron Bussey and I have seen dozens of dogs roaming the streets around here, so they are definitely a problem. A police officer told me that the shelters are just overflowing. Now, if you'd like to help some of the volunteers at that shelter, you can go to our website.